Hello everybody, I'm James Quattro, and this week I've got something special. It's here. It's finally here. The all-new 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E. Now this one here is not your typical Mach-E. This is the Premium First Edition. It's got the extended range battery and all-wheel drive. This is probably the most expensive Mach-E that you can build. And man, it is gorgeous. Now this one here is spec'd out in the Rapid Red, and unfortunately it is already sold. So if you want to buy this one, unfortunately this one is not available. But hey, give me a call and maybe we can get you into a brand new one. We do have other ones coming, but this one in particular is unfortunately sold. But let me take you around it and show you what in my opinion makes this Mach-E incredible. Now I don't normally pop the hood on my vehicles. I'm not really doing a big tech spec kind of walk around, but on this one here I'm going to, because what's under the hood here is pretty unique to this particular vehicle. Now in order to get under the hood, it's very simple. You just go into the where normally you'd have the hood release on any other vehicle, you pull it twice and then swing it open, and inside the I'm going to call it a frunk. I'm a big advocate of the mid-engine cars, and mid-engine cars have frunks, and this is the Mach-E's frunk. So in here you're going to have some storage. Now, it does have dividers in here, so you could put, one thing here and there. And the one thing that really kind of bothers me about this is I really wish that they had made this a lot more removable. So in order to remove the sides here, you've got some pop rivets. It can be done with a screwdriver very simply, but I wish it was a little bit simpler. And then the center divider here looks like it should be able to just pop off, but it can't either. So really, in order to get the full access to the front area, you need a screwdriver. Not the end of the world, but it's interesting. There's a couple other things in here that I find interesting. Number one, it's got cup holders. I've heard of tailgating, but what do you call it when you're using the front of your vehicle to tailgate? That's a good question. I don't have an answer. Also, if you look in the very bottom here, there's actually a drain hole too. So I guess in theory, if you want to use this as a party vehicle, you could fill this whole basin with ice, your favorite beverages, you've got cup holders. What more do you need? Now the last thing I want to talk about under the hood area is this little green square here, and this is an emergency release with the glow in the dark in case your child gets trapped in here. I'm not sure what size child is going to get trapped in here, and anyone that can fit in here probably won't know to push the button, but it does have it. Again, just an interesting feature in the front of this vehicle. Now on to the back of the vehicle. In my opinion, this is probably the most Mustang looking part of the whole vehicle. They've done a great job with the taillights, just giving it those Mustang-esque taillights, as well as just the way the muscle structure and the body lines are. It looks like a lifted up Mustang in the back, and I do like that. And of course you got your Mustang logo here. Now the one thing I will mention is how surprisingly little Ford logos there are in this vehicle. It's important to know kind of where Ford's going in this direction. Now, a lot of people are carrying on about the fact that they're calling it a Mustang Mach-E. And it's not a Mustang. Well, it's not a Mustang in your classic sense. But Ford is trying to kind of create some sub-brands. So as they did with the Bronco. So it's not a Ford Bronco, it's a Bronco, that is the model. On this one here, they're doing the same thing. This is not really a Ford, it's a Mustang. And they're going to create various vehicles in the Mustang line with the name Mustang, and this being an electric all-wheel drive SUV. You know, the Bronco Sport isn't a Ford, it's a Bronco. You got the Bronco Sport, you got the Bronco. Well, in Mustang, you've got the Mustang Coupe, the Fastback Coupe, you got the Mustang Mach-E, and there will be other vehicles down the road to carry the Mustang name. It's the same as, you know, Mercury, you know, Lincoln. The same idea, it's just they happen to be selling them at Ford dealers. So the only Ford logo I could find was actually on the front of the windshield and then on the glass. Otherwise, there are no Ford logos whatsoever. This is a Mustang brand vehicle. All right, let's open up the back. So it does have the foot-activated tailgate, which kicks it up. And you got plenty of room back here to store things. All right, so in here you got lots of room. Now, this floor can be at 2 different levels. So right now it's on the higher level. If you just pull it out and slide it down, it can go down further to give you a little bit deeper storage area. You've also got a very nice privacy blind up here, which can be removed. But if you go underneath this floor, you've got 2 things. There is no spare tire on this, so you do get an inflator, which it has that. And also you've got this black bag. Now what this black bag is, and it's a very nice holding bag. If you unzip it, this is your charger. So you've got the standard charging plug that goes into the vehicle, and then you've got 2 different connections for your end. Now these both can plug in on the very top in here, and you've got your standard 110 outlet, and you've got a 220. So depending on what you have as far as charge capabilities will allow you to either do 110 or 220, and it comes with both of them. Now obviously which one you choose will also determine how long it takes to charge. But it's nice to have that on the go, so if you are traveling and you need some emergency power and can't find a charging station, you've got one in here. Then you just got to find either a 220 or a 110 outlet to plug into. And that all stows away very nicely, so you don't have to worry about it at all. Now the other thing that's neat is how do you get into this vehicle? As you'll notice, there are no door handles on this door. There is one on the front. You've got a little pull knob, but that's not a latch. You can't open the door that way. And the way you open the door is very simple. You just push the button. And what it does is it pops out the door just enough that you can get your hand in there and open it up. So a very simple way to get in the door, very clean on the outside. All right, now this is an area that on a typical Mustang Fastback, you're not gonna have a whole lot of room or very much comfort. But on this one, it's not bad. Let's get in, shut the door. And I've got plenty of room. I've got plenty of headroom. I got plenty of leg room. I got a nice armrest over here, which also has my window switch. On the left here, if I want an armrest, I've got an armrest. I've got 2 cup holders. Very comfortable. I've got a beautiful view of the sky with this wonderful glass roof. And I've also got USB-A and USB-C, so plenty of charging. Some pockets in the seats for some extra storage. What more can you ask for out of a back seat? You know, one thing that you'll notice if you look at the outside, it's meant to have that really deep slope look to the outside. But it's actually not anywhere near as steep as it looks. The whole top of the roof is actually black to hide the fact that it's actually more shaped like an edge than what it looks like from, you know, a glance, which gives you tons of headroom. Again, I got, you know, several inches above my head. Not saying I'm the tallest guy in the world, but I'm average, and I've got more than enough headroom. All right, so as I had mentioned earlier, on this door here, you've got this pull handle. Again, you've got the button, same as on the back door. You just press the button, it pops the door out, but now you've got this nice little handle to actually finish opening the door. Now on the door here, you've got power windows, power locks, you have power folding mirrors. child lock for the windows, and then you've got your power mirrors. And you got your memory seats over here. This one does have the B&O sound system, so you've got the speakers on all the doors. And then down here on the sill, you've got the first edition badging, which is really the only place that I've seen on the vehicle so far that has first edition anywhere. All right, now on to the most important seat, the front seat. So in here, you've got a very large touchscreen, which is more than enough to do everything you want it to do. It does have I'm going to say with quotes, a physical knob for your volume, which actually, funny enough, is actually just a touch sensor onto the screen. So if you were to take off that knob, it would just be a flat screen underneath. So it's not, an actual mechanical knob, but it is a physical knob that you can turn and mess with. So from this screen, you can do pretty much everything. So on the top here, it's on a trip meter right now, so it's telling you where all your energy's gone so far. 89% of the energy has been used on the climate control, nothing on the route, 11% on accessories. Now, it's been sitting here, so that's to be expected. I mean, I haven't driven it anywhere, so that is what it is. If you scroll up, how's your driving? It talks about how your driving has been with this current trip. Down below, you've got several things, a bunch of cards that you can scroll through. The first one being your radio, so it'll then kick the radio up to the top, and now the trip meter's at the bottom. You've got your navigation, tire pressures, which still need to be set, and phone. So really easy to figure out which cards you want to use at a glance, and then you can click up on the top here, and it gives you a more of a button style, where it's showing you all the same thing: radio, phone, navigation, tire pressure, trips. It's actually got a built-in owner's manual, so that's part of Sync 4. So anything with Sync 4 has a built-in owner's manual. And what's cool about this is you can do it by categories, you can look up videos. So if when do you need the owner's manual the most? You're going to need that owner's manual the most when you're lost, confused, and probably on a trip. So, and chances are it's going to be late at night, so you got nobody to call either. So this gives you all the how-to videos and everything right here in the big screen. Bluetooth, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, obviously depending on which phone you have hooked up, you've got buttons for those as well. And scroll it up, very much like a smartphone or like a big tablet. A lot of the same functionality. And down at the bottom, you've got your climate controls. So you've got your automatic climate controls, so you can set the temperature, set it to auto. You've got all your typical climate control things here. So defrost, face, feet, it's all there. E-heat, as well as air conditioning. So all your climate controls are here, and that's the bottom button down here. And then you've got your heated seats, heated steering wheel, your fan controls, and then your defrost. So all right there on the big screen in front of you, and it can do a lot more than that. I'm kind of giving you a basic overview of what it does. So that would have been enough, but they still wanted to give you a screen behind the steering wheel that gives you all your driving information. So your gauge cluster, which is this long tablet behind the steering wheel. And here it's giving me the range, which at this point is 183 miles based on how we've been driving, which is not at all. You've got your ground speed, which is another throwback to the Mustang. If you ever look at a Mustang gauge cluster, the speedometer is labeled ground speed, and they've done that with this as well. And of course your gear indicator. So all that is right up here. This does have all your advanced safety that you'd expect. It's got your dynamic cruise control. It's got your active lane keep assist and lane keep alert. And of course Bluetooth and all those things. And it's all centered right here on your steering wheel. On the lower section here, you've got a wireless charger, as well as some additional storage, cup holders, your typical Ford gear knob that we've had as of late. And you got a console which lifts up, and you got some storage underneath, which is actually fairly deep, with a 12-volt charger there. And it can close again, and then you've got an armrest, which kind of floats above that area, which is pretty cool. Okay, now one of the other really cool things about this car, futuristic if you will, maybe the future of cars as we know it, is the key and the personalization. So this vehicle comes with one key, only one key, and they don't want you to use the key. That's not the point of this vehicle. What they want you to use is your phone. So using the Ford Pass app, you can create a profile, and it uses the phone as your key to get in the vehicle. And when you walk up to the vehicle, it automatically unlocks. When you walk away from the vehicle, it automatically locks. It knows settings and things in the vehicle based on which phone is walking up to the car and getting in the car. And that's the part I really want to talk about right now. So if you click on the buttons over here and go to Profile, it then has dozens of areas that you can create a profile and customize to your liking. I mean, I'm talking everything. Charge settings, the radio, driver assistance, vehicle settings, connectivity, everything. It knows based on which phone is brought into this vehicle what settings it needs to be at. So if you got multiple drivers, it doesn't get any more customized than this. Now the other thing I wanted to show you, let's go back to controls, is drive modes. So normally on most of our other Fords we have a knob or a button or something that gets into drive modes. There's only 3 drive modes on this particular vehicle. Engage, which is your normal driving mode. Whisper, which is you want to be extra quiet. And unbridled. I'm not even going to play with that right now. This vehicle's sold, and I don't want to be the one responsible for doing something stupid, so I'm not going to. But unbridled just takes this car to a whole nother level of performance. And, with everybody complaining about the use of the name Mustang, where the Mustang lives in this car isn't necessarily in its functionality or its exterior styling. Where the Mustang lives is in the driving experience of this car. Yes, it's an electric car, but what they want to do is they wanted to bring the passion that Mustang delivers into the driving experience of the vehicle. And yes, it's not going to be the V8 roar that you're typically used to hearing. But let me tell you something. If you're a doubter of the Mustang within this vehicle, drive one. Do me a favor, go find one someplace and drive it. Until you do that, you will not understand where the Mustang is in this vehicle. I promise you. Now I want to try something here. One pedal drive, I'm not sure what that is, let's look. Brings the vehicle to a stop and recovers energy when you release the accelerator pedal and the road grade is mild. You might need to use the brake pedal at any time. So basically you let your foot off the gas and it'll automatically try to brake using regenerative braking, which will get you a little bit more range. Propulsion sound. Propulsion sound is generated to enhance the driving experience. The sound level is mode dependent, whisper minimum, engage moderate, and unbridled maximum. So all that's going to do is make it louder. Let's try that a little, just driving around the parking lot here. Let's see if we can notice any of that. And we're going to turn off the radio completely. All right, so in engage, right now I'm only hearing the noise. I'm not sure, but I actually think it sounds, I almost hear an engine sound when I'm accelerating. I would put it on the level of like an Escape as far as noise, and it really doesn't sound electric. Huh. Just for the curiosity on the propulsion sound, I'm going to turn on unbridled. I have no intention of using this car aggressively because, again, it is sold. But I would be curious to try this with heavier acceleration, getting on like a highway, to see. But it has kind of a little bit of a grumble to it. So very interesting. You know, if it bothers you that there's no noise coming out of this vehicle when you're driving it, that would definitely be a solution to that problem. You know, it has kind of an engine sound to it. Even when it's idling on unbridled, I can hear like the pumping sound almost like an engine. When you get to a stop, it completely goes away. That's a neat feature. So there you have it, the 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E First Edition. If you're looking for that thumping V8 passion of a Mustang, but you need that growl, this is not the car for you. But if you're looking for just a pure driving, exhilarating vehicle that can also take your family where they gotta go as well, and doesn't burn a drop of gas, then this is the car for you. You really don't understand it till you drive it. And right now, unfortunately, this one's sold, so you can't drive this one. But give me a call. You get on the list, because I recommend that everybody drives one of these vehicles to really understand exactly what this vehicle is all about. My name is James Quattro. I'm a sales consultant here at Burdick Ford. Until next time, see you later.